Hi, my name's David Cole, I'm from the United Kingdom. We went into Afghanistan originally as a response to the 9/11 attacks on the United States of America, which were planned and executed from the territory of Afghanistan, and the then government did nothing to prevent it happening again. So we went in as an Article 5 operation under the auspices of North Atlantic Treaty Organisation to prevent it happening again. Since then, and as part of a way of stabilising the country, promoting human rights, we're in Afghanistan to provide security so that civil society can develop in the country, that it can be a free country, a successful country, and one which is at peace with its neighbours and with the world.
This year we are celebrating 60 years of 60th anniversary of NATO. We are discussing Atlantic values and aims again. What are Atlantic community's values and aims?
The values are peace, democracy, security and the rule of law. Its aims are the implementation of those, and the manner in which we implement those changes depending on the situation and the circumstance. That's why at the moment we're revisiting NATO's strategic concept to work out how do we translate those goals into concrete activities on the ground in the 21st century. The Atlantic Alliance, more than anything, is about promoting a certain set of ideals. I think for our democracies, our nations, our states, to really grasp those ideals, our peoples have to really understand them and really get to grips with what they mean and why they're important. So I actually think the best way of strengthening the Atlantic Alliance is through education and through political education, to explain to people why do we need security? What is human security? How do we achieve it? Why is it important that we're in Afghanistan? A lot of our countries, a lot of our populations don't understand that. They don't really have the information available. So I think that's an important task, and it ranges from the United States in the West to Ukraine in the East as one of the partner countries of NATO, trying to explain how and why. I think there are two questions there. One is, what is it at the moment? What is it actually? And one is, what could and should it be? Unfortunately, I don't think Russia is currently playing a positive role in Euro-Atlantic security, which is regrettable. It is one of the most important countries in the world. But unfortunately, internally, it's not at peace with itself, I don't think. There are still debates about where Russia has come from. And also the recent conflict in Caucasus, and also through the use of energy politics, don't suggest to me a country that is playing an active role to promote stability and security in the Euro-Atlantic region. I think that's really unfortunate, because Russia could be and should be a real force for improving things and for maintaining the stability and security that we all want. There's a lot of talk about Russia becoming strong again. To an extent that's true. It's benefiting from the transition from communism. It has significant natural resources, but it seems to be acting like a country that's afraid. Maybe a strange thing to say. Georgia poses no threat to Russia, and yet there was a military intervention there. That's regrettable, because Russia could and I think should do so much more, given its strategic location, its historical position, and the size of its economy and its landmass and its people. I think that NATO, and indeed the entire world, has to accept that there is not going to be one model for the future. The original, or the first version of the strategic concept, was the Harmel report from 1967, and that could last until 1991 without major amendment, because the world was relatively static. Then from 1991 to 1999 we had a paradigm shift. We can't make a single paradigm shift anymore. I don't know what the world's going to be like in 10 years' time, but I know it's going to be different. And so we have to move to a position, and it's not just within security matters, across many areas, where we are able to deal with change as it happens, as it will happen. And so I think the first issue there is making sure we're flexible and adaptable and prepared for different situations. In more concrete areas, I think we need to be looking at cybersecurity. The internet and communication, so on, is increasingly important to our economic and social life, and we need to be able to protect those assets. I think energy security is increasingly important too.